Multiple sources of income. Who wouldn't want that? Hi guys, my name is Brandon, and in this video, I'll be showing you my 5 sources of income that essentially help me pay my bills and increase my net worth every single day. Now, a little bit about me. I'm a 38-year-old investor, entrepreneur, father and husband, and I live in the amazing city of Singapore, the gateway between Asia and the rest of the world. I grew up in Sydney and still call Australia home, but I moved to Singapore 12 years ago to essentially follow my career in the design industry. Today, I juggle between running my own design studio, raising a family, traveling, and I spend a lot of my spare time trying to learn about personal finance and building wealth for yourself because none of us really ever taught that at school. Now, I just want to be clear that just because I've built 5 streams of income does not mean that I'm making millions and millions of dollars every year. Simply put, multiple streams of income equals security. You don't have to put all your eggs in one basket, and you don't have to be reliant on just one source of income like your job. Not everyone wants to work for the rest of their lives, and if there's something that you want, know that you can go out and achieve it. If you are consistent with your application, you put the time and effort, anyone can achieve anything. So let's go. Now, the first source of my income is the profits that I make from my business every single year. I invested and built my own design studio called Wolf here in Singapore. I walked away from my corporate job to pursue a passion and build something on my own terms. It gives me greater control of my own destiny, and I get out of it exactly what I put in. Wolf is a commercial interior design studio that we specialize in basically designing offices for different companies. We have a team of about 25 staff. We really love what we do and working with different clients from different companies. So at the end of every financial year, we look at how much money the company's made, pay out bonuses to our staff, as well as pay out some dividends to the shareholders of the company. Some people think starting a business is taking a really big risk, but actually I think it's a bigger risk to actually work for someone else and have someone else decide what kind of role you're doing and how much you get paid. So really, by starting your own business, you're taking control of your own future, and your own success is dependent on yourself and no one else. If you want to know more about how to start a business from scratch and how I built my business, please refer to some of the other videos that I've made as well. Now, my second stream of income is my earned income. I work just like everybody else. I work a 9-to-5 job, Monday to Friday, and although I am a shareholder of my business, that doesn't pay me a salary unless I'm actually working. So this is the income that I get from my everyday job as a designer, and it's what I studied at university, and this is what I do on a daily basis at work. And this source of income is kind of the suckiest because this is where you will trade obviously your quality of life and your time to actually generate that sort of income for yourself. I hope to be able to phase this source of income out in 10 years so that I don't have to work if I don't want to. And I plan to do that by building up all the other sources of income that I'm sharing in this video. My third source of income is dividends and capital gain that I get from investing in the stock market. Stocks are an equity investment that entitles you to an ownership of part of a corporation that also enables you to share in the company's profits and assets as they grow. It's similar to how I started my own business by investing money to become a shareholder, but in this case, I'm investing money into other people's companies so that I'm able to diversify out my money and not just rely on my own company to succeed, but also rely on other people's companies to succeed as well. Now, this is probably my most favorite source of income because it's really passive. Passive income means that you're earning a regular income with little to no effort required to actually keep that income coming in. I own and am constantly growing and building my own personal portfolio of different stocks in different companies, of a mix of different growth companies to high dividend paying companies. Now, to really grow this form of passive income, you need to save the income that you're earning from other sources. So for every dollar that I earn, I make sure that I pay myself first. Paying myself first, meaning that I put a sum aside to invest in income sources like this before I go out and blow the money on holidays and discretionary goods, so that with every dollar I earn, I'm contributing and growing my net wealth. I invest in a mix of different stocks, some growth stocks, and mainly these stocks are based in Australia and the US, which I'll share about in future videos. I also invest in REITs. REITs are real estate investment trusts that are essentially trusts that invest in different types of commercial real estate. So they might be shopping malls, office buildings, hotels, and these companies essentially collect rent and distribute this rent out to the existing shareholders in the form of dividends. And the best thing about living in Singapore is that these dividends are totally tax-free. I also invest in listed investment companies. These companies essentially take shareholder funds and invest on behalf of the shareholders according to a set of investment guidelines, and they aim to basically outperform the index. These companies also pay out regular dividends to their shareholders. My fourth source of income are from investment properties. We've invested in real estate in Australia, Singapore, as well as the Philippines across 7 different cities. We have approached property as a long-term buy and hold strategy where we just buy the properties and we hold them for 10 to 20 years. And there's essentially 2 ways to make money from property. One is through rental income from leasing out these properties to tenants, and the second is from capital appreciation, which is generally the increase of value of the property over time with inflation, infrastructure spend, as well as population growth. Investing in property does take quite a bit of savings and upfront capital, but once you've got it, you can borrow the rest of the balance from the bank, and it really gives you a leveraged exposure to the property market. This type of debt is actually good debt if managed properly, because it allows you to actually leverage into the property market and gain sort of much larger exposure. You rent it out, and as the rent comes in every month, you actually use that rent to try and cover the costs of holding the property, as well as managing the interest on the mortgage of the property itself as well. So cash flow management is really important, and making sure that you're on top of the expenses, the income, the ingoings and the outgoings, and to making sure that every dollar is accounted for in terms of managing that property itself. A lot of people traditionally see property as a very stable kind of investment. It's not like the stock market that goes up and down every day. It's less volatile, and it is kind of a set and forget investment if once you've got your kind of procedures in place to manage the property. And over time, the debt will be paid down through the mortgage, and you build up your own sort of equity position in that property itself. But I think the most powerful thing about property investing is really the leverage and the amount of exposure that it can gain you. For example, just buying a $500,000 property, you can save up a 10% deposit, which is $50,000, and borrow from the bank the balance $450,000. Now, if the property increases by 10% in value, you've actually doubled your money because you've got that $50,000 gain on that $500,000 value, and you've only invested $50,000 in the first place. So this kind of investment really has the power to be able to sort of exponentially grow your wealth, provided that the general property market is increasing in value. I'll be definitely making more videos about our property investment journey, the mistakes that we've made along the way, a lot of the things that we've learned, and to actually show you how we're actually executing on our long-term property investing strategy as well. My fifth source of income is the profits that we generate from renovating our investment properties. Whether it's our own home or one of our investment properties, if the opportunity arises for us to be able to invest in a renovation to actually increase the property's value as well as rental return, we'll definitely do it. Property is a tangible asset, so you don't have to only just buy and sell it, but you actually also have the ability to increase its value through renovations. And it doesn't have to be big structural work. It can just be minor cosmetic renovation. So it actually refreshes the property so that people are willing to pay a higher rent and banks can actually give you a higher valuation for it. What we usually target with these renovations is for every dollar that you spend, you actually increase the property's value by, let's just say $1.50 to $2, so that way you're able to sort of properly manage whatever money that you have to put in that renovation to make sure that you get the maximum impact for every dollar you spend. Now, this is just an example of an ugly duckling property that we bought in Brisbane in Australia. We bought it for $511,000. We spent about $30,000 on the renovation, and then about a month later, we actually got the bank to revalue it, and it actually revalued at $600,000. So in that case, we were actually able to refinance the property and extract the equity. So this is not really selling the property to realize a cash gain, but you're still holding onto the property, but you're able to extract that equity by refinancing. And with that equity, it's basically cash in the bank. So we can actually use that to fund the rest of the property portfolio, or even use it to actually buy your next property as well. So those are all my income sources as of right now. I'm constantly exploring other ways to build up other sources of income as well. It gives me peace of mind knowing that if one of my income streams becomes affected, that I still have other streams of income coming in that I can rely on to make my money. I hope you guys had fun watching this video, and more importantly, understand that building wealth and these different streams of income is a long-term game, and everyone's got to start somewhere. And hopefully I've inspired you here today to be able to start multiple income streams of your own. I'm not anything special or exceptional, and I'm still on my journey to build wealth, but if I can do it, anyone can. I really hope you liked this video, and if you did, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll be making a lot more videos about my investment strategies, my stock picks, and how I built my own business. So come on this journey and let's grow our wealth and achieve our financial goals together. See you guys.